Email from Ian Livingstone. He said you were talking about getting the words to songs wrong. He said, my sister-in-law Lorna, you know the song The Crystal Chandeliers? And the first line is, the marble statuettes are standing stately in the hall. And she sings with gay abandon, the marbles that you ate are standing stately in the hall. We'll put that one on our list. Thank you, Ian. Email address is jb@bbc.co.uk. And the answer phone thing is 338281, and the fax is 338048. And the address is Broadcasting House on One. I'm back on the Sunday with the Sunday Club just after 10, and Monday morning just after 9. Thank you for your undivided attention, or if you weren't half listening, thank you for your divided attention. What I'm about to do now involves a certain amount of danger. I'm going to hand over to Gerry, who may or may not be there.
I was in a band once, and the band leader used to take down all the words of the songs because none of the people in the band could be bothered to it, and he wrote down the words of a song by Herman and his Hermits called She's a Must to Avoid, and he said to me, you sing that. For 6 months I sang He's a Muscular Boy.
BBC Radio Foyle
and BBC Radio Ulster
with Gerry Anderson.
Sorry for the false laugh at the start of the programme. Every once in a while it comes over me. It's when I listen to John. Thank you, John Bennett in Belfast. Thank you, whatever you call this girl up here in Radio 4. Susan McReynolds. Sorry about that. I can't remember anybody's name today. This sounds roughly like the Undertones, but don't be fooled. It's nearly like it.
Some straight starts with banner, quick birds, snakes, and aeroplane. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. I am a hurricane, listen to yourself, Jared Wells and the Tonys. Some step your own, speed it up and not speak, but no strength. That letters that they clatter with fear fights out. Higher in a fire representing 7 games and a government fire in a combat strike. Left and west are coming in a hurry with the furies breathing down your neck. T-Machine reporters, Battletron, Desert Prop. Look at that low plane, fine, then up, overflow, population, common people, read the news, save yourself, serve yourself, world has its own needs, listen to
I love a song with a bit of a tune, don't you? That's a band called Solomon. That's a song from R.E.M. Well, it's not from R.E.M. They wrote it. It's called Eruta. It's the end of the world as we know it. Did I ever tell you about the fella who used to come up to see the band that I used to play with in Dungannon in a place called Eden Dark, which we mentioned the other day? Ever tell you about him? Hello? Did I ever tell you about the fella who used to come up... Hello?
Right then. Okay, right. Bye.
Did I ever tell you about the fellow who used to come up and talk to us in the band, and we were playing in a place called Eden Dark in Dungannon when I was playing there with the band there years and years ago?
Is that the Skiboo story?
No, it's another story entirely which I never told you.
Right, let's see. I'll stop you if we've heard it before.
Let me just do the spiel before I begin that. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 08459 555 678.
Have you Blossom Gerry with you today for Mary and Hugh Heatley?
The email address is jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. Feel free to send an email. After all, it is your BBC and not mine.
All right.
He used to come up to the stage every night, you see, and every time you'd be finished, you'd be sitting around the back of the stage or the front of it, wherever it may be. Sometimes you sit with your legs sticking over the front of the stage trying to attract the attention of women who hadn't already got people to leave them home.
Right.
And maybe perhaps you'd attract them, like a spider in a web.
How did bandmen leave girls home?
They didn't leave them home, they just went round the back of the hall.
Oh.
And then they said, "Are you all right now, love?" Anyway, I used to sit there, and this fella used to always come up, and he was from Dungannon, actually. And he's probably still alive.
All right, good. I hope he is.
I hope he is.
Yeah.
And I hope he doesn't think any little of me any less of me for telling this story. But he wasn't, he what can I say about him? Anyway, what he used to say was, he used to do the same thing. He always pretended he'd never seen you before. And I'd talked to him maybe 10, 20 times, but he never said hello. He just used to come up as if it was the first time he met you, every single time. And he used to come up and he'd say, "How you doing, boy?" And I'd say, "Hello." And he'd say, that song there that you sang there a while back." And I'd say, "What song is that?" That song by Clough Richard. Name me a song by Clough Richard.
Miss You Nights.
Okay. What?
Miss You Nights.
Why did you pick that one for?
All right then. Congratulations.
Congratulations. I'll just go back where I was. That song there you sang there by Clough Richard. The one earlier on. Congratulations. Yes. And he'd say, "Aruta." And he used to do it every night. And he'd say, "You wrote that, Aruta." I said, "Well, I didn't realise." I said, "Aruta." And he'd say, "I'll tell you another song, Aruta. Do you know that one by the Everly Brothers that you played there earlier on? Give me a song by them. Kathy's Clown."
Well, Kathy's Clown's a good song.
Kathy's Clown. Yeah, I said, "I wrote that too." And every night he'd tell you all the songs he wrote, and then he'd go away.
Right.
And then the next time you'd be playing there about 3 or 4 months' time, he'd come up and he'd say, "How you doing, boy?" You know that song you played?
Well, let's try and find them to see how many songs
he there?
Right, okay.
See the people that we found. Remember the poor wee fella who died actually, and he used to live used to be in the orchid. No,
yes.
And he said, "No ticket, no toot. Yeah. No ticket, no toot." Right. Well, we found him.
Right. So try and find the man.
As soon as we found him, he died.
Right.
And there's other people out there that we need to find.
Okay, well, turn me off now then. Will you get Blossom Dairy?
What's this obsession you have with Blossom Dairy?
Because you promised Mary and Hugh Heatley you'd play it for their 21st wedding anniversary yesterday.
Did I really?
Yes.
Well, I don't know where it is. It's upstairs somewhere. It could be very hard to find that. I've got to
turn me off.
I'm so mixed up here. I've got so many things to read, and I've got such a pile of stuff, and I didn't even have an opportunity to sort it all out because I was too busy honing my script and putting the last-minute flourishes on it. But here's some emails that I forgot the other day. Please play "Hard Times" by Tommy Fleming for Jim Devine, who celebrates his birthday tomorrow. That could be any day. It could be today. And his brother Gerry, who celebrated his birthday last Saturday. That's from his mother. Hope he hears that. Sorry I didn't do that yesterday, or maybe this could be a week ago. I don't know. And I have to play a request for Terry Mallon. Can you please play "Big City" by Iris Dement? That's from his daughter Tracy. And here's another thing. Lee has Ronnie and his 4-piece band booked for a barbecue on the 23rd of June in Killinchy, but she's lost his phone number. He's from the Portadown direction. And hello to Maeve Spires. Happy birthday to her from Gemma and Hannah. And a good home is wanted for a 3-month-old brown and white Coley pub in the Newton Ards area, and who would not provide a thing like that? Also have to say hello to Herbie Gracie. And happy birthday to Herbie. That's from Nan and family. And tell Patsy Munster, great name, He's a plasterer, it says here, for no good reason. It tells Patsy to get a move on. Obviously a man who's dicking about with his plaster brush. And lost the black and white cat in Lisburn on Tuesday night. And also lost car keys in the butter crane in Arua and the butter crane in Uri on the Tuesday. Right, I've got everything all mixed up here. But somebody has sent me a poem and wants me to read this. I can't remember who this is from. Somebody faxed this to me. And it's of a political nature, but no political parties are mentioned. There must be 2 pages of this. No, it's called 3 Steps to Heaven. Dear Mr. Paisley, don't condemn me to hell. I've just started line dancing. I'm doing very well. I truly enjoy it, though sometimes my head's in a spin, but I really can't believe God would class it as a sin. Obviously referring to our good friend, Mr. Paisley, who said that, he and his people said that line dancing is now a sin, which is figure out. I'm sad you called me lusty, said my life was full of sin, for I don't smoke or drink, but I guess I just can't win. For when I hear the music, my feet start to tap. I'm sorry, Mr. Paisley, I simply cannot stop. I have to point out that stop does not rhyme with tap, except in certain areas of Belfast. How can it be that the devils work to dance and give a smile, to help create good friendships and bring laughter for a while? For in this world of trouble, if line dancing's all we do, the pearly gates will open and we'll all line dance straight through. Hugo might have a word to say about this. So, Reverend Mr. Paisley, my advice to you would be, try and get your country right and make it trouble-free. Do the job you're paid for, get your priorities right. You'll never stop us dancing, should you try with all our might. Yeah, great. What?
There's a wee call for you there.
So soon.
028.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Gerry.
Yes, what can we do for you, sir?
Gerry, that was a very good poem, that. Nice.
Wasn't
Enjoyed
bad.
that.
I don't know who wrote that. I may find another piece of paper which identifies the author. Or maybe it'll just say, Arua. Arua.
I like that. I like
Arua,
that.
Arua.
Well, Gerry, I was rang you last week regarding the dog on the bus
Oh, yes.
being charged.
That's right.
Do you remember?
I do remember it very well. I got a number of correspondences from other people who said that, they would like to see this kind of thing, because one particular person said if 3 men were out with 6, sometimes men walk
Yes.
greyhounds in bulk. If
Yes.
3 men were out walking 6 greyhounds, he says 18 greyhounds and 3 men. Imagine if they went all on the bus and every greyhound had a seat and you came on at the next stop. What would you
Yes.
think?
Yes.
What would you think?
I don't
If you
know.
saw 18 greyhounds looking at you.
I find it very comical, especially the letter I received from TransLink.
Oh, really?
Yes, the correspondence have been coming through the door.
Excellent.
Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the details.
Let me just tell the people in case they don't know.
Right.
You went on a bus
Yes.
with your dog.
Yes.
And the bus driver said you have to pay for the dog.
Yes.
And you had a £20 note.
Yes.
So he sent you off the bus and asked you over to go on the other side of the street to a shop to get
Yes.
change because you hadn't got change. And you didn't want to do that
Correct.
because you would have been killed.
Yes.
All right. But he wouldn't. Eventually he took your name and address.
Yes.
Okay, right.
And give me a credit note for 43 pence.
Right. Right, okay.
Right. I sent a credit note with a letter to TransLink at Mailwater Road. Well, things got moving. I received a letter the other day. Now, I'll read you a bit paragraph. I'll not be too boring about it, Gerry.
No, I love letters.
The rate charged for the carriage of dogs shall be 1/4 of the adult single fare. The minimum charge for a dog is 30 pence. Now, my charge to and from the city centre is 85 pence. So it shall be a quarter of 85 pence is about 22 pence, roughly.
That sounds right to me.
Right. So they are saying that they can charge me 30 pence as the minimum fare.
Yes.
But there's only 85 pence into town and out of town.
So should only be 20 odds.
That's correct, yes.
See that letter, by the way?
Yes.
Arua. Anyway, go on ahead.
Yeah. Well, however, our drivers are expected to use their discretion in such matters as this, and after hearing the full account of your incident, I have contacted Short Strand Depot, which has nothing to do with it. So the letter's from Mailwater Road
Now that's just to throw you.
to Short Strand Depot, who are responsible
Are they?
for the collection of credit fares.
Right.
But this correspondence gives me Mailwater Road, so they do nothing all day. They pass it on to Short Strand.
Right. That's
I
what's called delegation of duty. Yes.
I like it. No further action is now required by yourself on this matter.
Well, that's a relief for you.
That's great.
Okay, so how does that leave you then?
Well, it leaves me very, very baffled.
Indeed.
It leaves me baffled in the respect, if I want to get a day ticket for my dog, there's no notification regarding that. If I want to travel on 6 buses, which I may have to do to get to the vet because I have no car and I'm unemployed.
Exactly, yes.
I have to go by bus. Could I buy a day ticket for my dog, which saves you money?
I get the impression, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I
Yeah.
get the impression they don't want your dog on the bus.
No, they don't.
Well, you see, what are you supposed to do?
Well, you see, it says here discretion. So if the driver doesn't, I want to pay for the dog. You know what I mean? If I had to do this again, which I hope I don't have to. The old dog's keep confined at the moment. She's a bit old. She's 10-year-old.
It's rallying, though. The dog is rallying, yes.
She's getting their confidence back. But anyway, Jerry, what I'm trying to say is, it's the discretion of the drivers.
This is the thing that I get.
So there's no legal point. If I had to pay £30, I'll pay £30. But when they say you have to pay the quarter of your adult fare, a quarter of my adult fare is £22.
But you see, I understand what you're trying to say, but I know what your trouble is. Your confidence, like the dog, your confidence is undermined. Because even if you decide to pay for the dog, they won't let you on if they don't like the look of you.
That's it. That's just it, Jerry.
See, and you don't know what to look like. You don't know what they like.
I don't know what's frame up. What if I to sing at the bus stop? Or
No.
if I had to do a tap dance?
Maybe you should wear a dress suit and a dicky bow.
I don't know. It's hard to do in the state, you know.
I'd love to tell you a story of something that happened to me, but I can't. I really can't. I would pay £100 to be able to tell you this story that happened to me.
Well, here, you may be able to tell me tonight.
Why?
Because you're cooking at a certain place tonight, which I will not divulge.
No, tell me where, because I don't know where it is. Tell me where it is.
I know where it is, bud. I know where it is.
But tell me where it is.
The Devonshire.
Devonshire what?
The Devonshire Arms.
The Devonish.
Devonish. Over in the west of the city.
I didn't know where it was.
Yes.
The Devonish Arms. Yes, and I'm told that I said that it was sold out, but it's not completely sold out.
Oh, I know.
There's a seat or two left, yeah.
What are you cooking?
I don't know. You can come along and pay at the door if you like. Myself and Mr. Coyle, he's nervous about it because
I know he would. See, Sean.
Yes.
Sean is too nervous and uptight. He wants to relax a bit and let himself go because the fella, he's a decent guy.
Yeah, but
he's
see,
a
one
good
of
guy.
the things that he's right to be nervous about really is he's nervous enough
Being
here.
with you.
No, he's nervous enough being in here. But when we go out, the worst thing is, you see, that when we go out to do things like this, I do nothing. I go to the bar. And he has to do everything on the stage. That's what he's worried about. You worried about that?
I know. Only two. And I'm not joking.
I think you'll have a good night.
Well, just for my benefit, where's the bar?
The bar.
There is no bar.
What?
There is no bar, I was told.
But yeah, when I leave you on the stage to do the cooking, I go down to the bar.
No, the whole idea of it apparently is that there'll be a lady there, a chef there.
A chefess?
And whatever. What do you call a female chef?
No, busybody, that's what you call her.
Well, you call her that tonight, then you see how you get on.
Well,
But
Jerry,
she was...
why don't you two just get a name?
What to do?
A name?
Yeah, a name.
Can nearly
like,
explain there what's going on.
What kind of a name could you go?
He interrupted you.
I tried to explain it.
Sorry, he's complaining because you interrupted him.
Oh, sorry, Sean.
Go on then.
The lady will show us. The lady will give us a big lump of stuff, ingredients and all sort of stuff.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know how all these things happen. And she'll say, right, wash your tomatoes now and skin things and cut them up and dice them.
Right.
And put them into that pot and then...
I couldn't be bothered with that. Carry on. I'll be at the bar. Will you do that?
I don't think
You both have to do it.
I won't be there. I'll be at the bar.
We do it together.
I'll go on the stage and I say, ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful...
It's to see who makes the best meal.
For God's sake.
And then we cook this meal.
Is there no Chinese restaurant about or anything?
I'm told Jimmy McPeak's one of the samplers.
Oh, it's serious then?
Jimmy McPeak's coming along.
No, you see, what'll happen tonight is I'll go on stage and I say, ladies and gentlemen, it's wonderful
It's
to be
not
here.
going to happen like that. You're not getting
And
out
I'll
of
say,
this
please
one
put your hands
tonight.
together for Mr. Coyle. And I'll say, Mr. Coyle, please talk to the people. And I'll go down to the bar then. And then when it's over, I'll come back and say, what a wonderful evening. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Sure.
And look after yourselves on the way home. And if you're driving home, make sure you have a car. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. See you on the radio. And then I go home then. I go and get the money.
It's not like that tonight.
That's the way it'll be tonight.
Here, Jerry.
We have to feed people tonight.
Can
Jerry,
not feed them. Yes.
I think you'll be starting charity work shortly.
Well, nobody knows the amount of time that I spend. I don't like to talk about it.
Well, we had a local playground opened by one of a celebrity. I'll not mention the name.
Now, how much did it cost you?
A celebrity cost, and it was raining very heavily this particular morning.
How much did it cost you this
About
charity?
800 quid.
I love that.
I love
because
that.
you see, the thing is,
You should be in that, but you should
I'm
be
trying to
there.
get into it, but there are too many people in it. You see, people are saying, "Oh, so and so is appearing tonight for charity."
Yes.
And there are people saying, "Oh, isn't he really good?"
Yes.
And they're probably getting about 800 quid.
Yes, that's.
Now, what they do is, you say, what I would do in a case like, I don't do this, but I know people who do.
Yes.
Somebody rings up and saying, "Hello,
Yes.
we're trying to raise some money for the roof of the church."
Yes.
And the water is coming down, and all the people who are sitting praying to the Lord, and I wonder, could you help us with a fundraising do we're having the other night? The other night, could you do compare? And the person would say, "Yes, I'd love to, but the only thing is, I probably need some expenses." "Oh, that'll be okay. How much would that be?" 1,000 quid. That's how it works, you see.
That's how it
And then
works.
everybody thinks you're doing it for charity, and you're going up and saying it's a great pleasure for here to be night.
Yeah.
And then your big pockets full of money when you go out. But you see, well,
I'm not getting a bus over tonight, Jerry. I'm going to get a
come
taxi.
on over, introduce yourself and you come over. Buy me a drink. I'll be
I'm
standing at the
I'm
bar.
going to get a taxi over. I'm not going to go with. I don't want to.
Bring your dog.
I'll bring.
Bring your dog.
I'll bring.
Right.
Jerry, thanks for listening to me.
Okay, thank you.
And have a good night. Bye bye.
Thank you, bye. I'll see you there. Hello?
Jerry,
Yes?
Jim here. You want to get to the Devonish Arms?
I'm just wondering where it is.
Right, you know the King's Hall?
Yes?
Lisburn Road.
Yes?
Right, you're heading up towards Lisburn.
Yes?
Right, from the King's Hall, the very first set of traffic lights is a crossroads.
Right.
Turn right.
Where am I coming from?
From Belfast,
Right, I'm up the Lisburn Road.
you're up the Lisburn Road, past the King's Hall,
Yes?
traffic lights,
Yes?
turn right,
Yes?
over the hump on the bridge, which is a railway crossing.
Does it not lead me to Bircher Road or somewhere?
No. At the King's Hall, you're heading towards Lisburn on the Lisburn Road.
Right?
Up to the traffic lights,
Yes?
turn right,
Right?
up over the hill, which is like a railway crossing,
Uh-huh.
and it's on the right-hand side.
Which that's the job done.
Job done.
Thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure.
I'll just write that down. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
My pleasure.
Bye. Bye. He's no good at directions.
call
Where's
it,
our
Jerry.
man? Where's our directional
Okay.
directions giver?
I'll pass this on to Mr. Anderson.
The cuckoo is
10,000
called.
pounds.
Buzz, there's a bee. A cockerel now crows. It's like music
Right,
to me.
Fiona,
The sky is so blue, and the sun is so bright. Skylarks are hovering. What a wonderful sight. A little lamb bleating, soon its mammy will call. If there's no foot and mouth disease and it's not cold. They're out on green pasture, so pleasant for all. Swallows are twittering. 2 magpies have been. All little birds busy. What beauty I've seen. It's all freely given for us every day. For health and my strength, Lord, that's what I pray for. And I thank him, too, for such peace in creation. It's a little poem I just found there. A lady sent that to me. Thank you, Lorna. I feel inspired by that. This is a very special request for a very special friend of mine. I'll read a special request out for her later. She knows who she is. Her name is Joan. She's over there on the mainland, as everyone else says.
I love the air that you breathe in, and every space that you occupy, every story you were reading, and everywhere that you cast your eye. And I love the words that you're speaking, and every note in your sweet song. You know I love the very ground that you walk upon. I love the sounds that you're hearing, and every feeling that you feel, every thought that you're revealing, and every thought that you conceal. I love the things that your hands touched. You know I treasure every one, and I love the very ground that you walk upon. The very ground that you walk upon. It's something sacred where the fairest flowers have grown, where the earth is always fertile. There's a jewel in every stone. You know I love the very sacred where the fairest flowers have grown, where the earth is always fertile. There's a jewel in every stone. You know I love the very ground that you walk upon. When I wander into places that you pass through, I can somehow feel the traces, 'cause there's a certain sense of you. You have left your mark upon them, and even though you've been and gone, you know I love the very ground that you walk upon. Yes, I love the very ground that you walk upon.
That's Charlie McGettigan. That's a song called I Love the Very Ground You Walk Upon. That's from an email from Eileen Roaston. She says, please play a very special request on Friday the 1st of June for Joan Wheeler in Warrington. If you have Charlie McGettigan's Bed for the Night or Feet of a Dancer, I couldn't find either of those, or something nice and cheery. Please say happy birthday to Joan and tell her we're all thinking about her. Hope she has a nice day. That's from Eileen Roaston. That's my good friend Joan Wheeler in Warrington in England. I hope she's listening. Right, did you say there was a phone call there?
Yes.
Where is it?
Alright, but sure, you keep giving me the
Hello?
wrong.
Hello? 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 Is there someone there, did you
Yes.
say?
2 Oh, 8.
Hello?
Hello.
Sorry, I couldn't find you there. It's difficult for me.
Hello, Gerry. It's
Yes.
the unemployed poet here.
Good morning, unemployed poet.
Now,
How are you?
Sean Coyle is waiting you up. There's 3 bars in the Devonish.
I don't know anything about this. 3 bar. Well, I only 3. Seems a lot.
And you drive up to the junction of Finnegan Road South and Finnegan Road North, and
Yes.
take the north, and then go onto the railway bridge and into the right, and then right again, and you're in. And it's a large place. Now, they are waiting you up, but I'm on about another thing, a complaint.
Yes, go ahead.
You have cost me a fortune.
I'm sorry.
I had to go out and buy a new bowl, new feed, new stones, everything.
For what
and you
reason?
were wrong. All your experts were wrong.
What's the reason that you had to do this?
I had the bowl in direct sunlight at the window, which was heating up the water and killing them.
Oh, your goldfish.
Yes.
Yes, right.
And you know the red, white and blue ones that died?
I'm not familiar with them intimately, but I think I
Well,
know the ones you mean, yes.
Those 3 that died, they were looking across at a lamppost with a tricolour up on top, and the man told me that's why they died.
Oh, not Fenian goldfish then.
No.
Okay, I see.
So I've got one here, and it's red, green, blue and orange,
Seems confused.
and it's thriving in the community water.
Well, this is the future of our province. This is the future.
Now, I have a couple of people here. They're from the IURFAFVFLA,
I'm afraid to ask what that means.
and they're all pro-agreement.
Oh.
And I want to know how much of a ransom they would get. Who would pay more, you or Colsey, if they took us from the Devonish tonight?
Oh, well, take him.
Go him.
Take
What does he
him.
look like?
It looks like a plate of mortal sins.
Does he look like a policeman?
It does a bit, you know.
Right.
I don't look like a policeman. Nobody would ever confuse me for a peeler. But he looks like one. He's got that kind of officious air about him. But, you know, don't take him until he gives me the petrol money.
Well, what does he drink? We could put a Mickey Finn.
He drinks stout. And then when he gets too much of that, he begins talking like a trout. And then he drinks whiskey. Now, it makes him worse. I'm readily identifiable. I'm the man who's throwing Smirnoff down his throat with a small bottle of white lemonade at his side. That's me.
And will you have a white suit on you?
I won't. No, I don't know what to wear. I haven't consulted my wardrobe yet. My butler hasn't come up with anything yet. But he will about 5, 6 o'clock. I'd be wearing probably a dark suit.
Well,
I'll be lovely. Listen, I'm going to have to stop you now. We're coming up to 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Have you any poems today?
Well, I'm just writing one at the minute. Well, you've had me on there for 25 minutes.
Come back to me when you've got it finished.
Okay.
See you later, sir.
Bye.
Bye. You see, there are far too many Fenian goldfish in orange bowls. We'll be back at 4 minutes past 11.
92 to 95 FM.
And 1341 medium wave.
BBC Radio Ulster.
Good morning, it's 11 o'clock and at the news desk this is Darren Vaughan. Dissident Republicans are being blamed for this morning's bomb attack in County Tyrone. No one was injured in the explosion at Sion Mills RUC station. Margaret Patton was one of those moved from their homes. She says the whole incident has been very distressing for everyone in the village.
It just brings back so many bad memories. We have suffered greatly in our own home with these bombs. I just hope we're not going to return to it.
The Sinn Féin President Gerry Adams has appealed to those responsible for planting the bomb to stop.
What they're doing has no part to play and is out of step with Republican views and the main sort of feeling of Republican people at this time. There's a chance of building peace. These people should be part of that.
A new report says RUC records of incidents when plastic bullets have been fired are inadequate and badly maintained. The report by the Human Rights Commission claims that important documents are sometimes missing from files. The findings are released on the day the security forces are issued with a new type of plastic bullet. More than half of Northern Ireland's family doctors will consider resigning from their NHS contracts next spring if the British Medical Association's General Practitioners Committee doesn't secure better contracts and negotiating rights for all GPs. Doctors here say what they call the crippling bureaucracy within the NHS is resulting in patients receiving a third-rate service. They're also blaming an ever-increasing workload and under-resourcing by successive governments for the crisis. A former Home Office advisor has criticised the Macpherson report into the murder of the black teenager Stephen Lawrence. Dr. Marion Fitzgerald says that labelling the Metropolitan Police as institutionally racist was just an empty phrase and said the report offered no practical basis for action. But the Lawrence family's lawyer, Imran Khan, says the Macpherson inquiry did very important work.
We know that, for example, colour got written into the immigration acts of this country and then progressively colour became the focus of the criminal justice system. So we've seen that process of discrimination occurring through every walk of life, and what we have to look at, and what Sir William Macpherson did, was to try and work out what it was, what was the process that was doing it, and he termed it institutionalised racism. And he relied heavily on academic work and the evidence of police officers.
People in California will pay 50% more for their electricity from today. They've already had to suffer a series of rolling blackouts in recent months. The ongoing crisis stems from the deregulation of the state's electricity industry. David Willis reports.
Attempts to change the way people here are supplied with electricity have gone horribly wrong. For months, California's 34 million residents have lived with sudden and rolling blackouts. If that wasn't bad enough, they've now been told their bills are about to rise dramatically. It would be embarrassing enough if this was the third world, but it's arguably the most technologically advanced place on Earth, home to Silicon Valley, the birthplace of the new economy. Some high-tech companies have already indicated that they are considering moving elsewhere.
That was David Willis. A look at the weather. Cool, dull and rather windy today with rain and some drizzle.
BBC Radio Ulster.
Travel news.
In the Clandyboy area of Bangor, Ballysella Road is closed at the Low Bridge following an oil spillage. Motorists should find a different route. The A5 through Sion Mills has been reopened to traffic following this morning's explosion in the town. Still in the Strabane area, and installation work continues on Lisdivan Road at Burndennet. The road is closed and diversions are in place. And finally, at the international airport, the flight from Brussels, which was due to land around 10 minutes ago, has been delayed until 25 to 12. Roy Willigan with the travel news.
Welcome back. Oh, look. I didn't mean to do that. Excuse me. Look, everything's gone haywire. I have to play a little travel jingle. It's very important that the people hear that. See? To hear that. It's the most important thing. Welcome back. It's coming up to 5 minutes. Made a mess of that. It's almost 5 minutes past 11 o'clock. If you want to phone this programme, the number is 08459 555 678. Email jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And remember, this is your BBC and I'm not like the others. It's very important to realise that you're under no pressure or shame when you ring this programme.
Saint Teresa of the Roses. Near the altar in the chapel,
coq. Il parle des heures d'amour et de rock. D'un seul coup il eut un pont magique, illuminé par des lumières mystiques.
Bhíonn soilse dom bán agus buí ag rinca mar sióga blúmarí. Thosaigh siad rinca gard an car, chun siad port an colin stan fear se an bonbon car as tír na nóg. A tháinig an car do Memphis de sa bonbon car, du máchan í sa bheithú ógus. Mi se an fear leis an bonbon car is a dání spar. Mi se an fear leis an bonbon car.
Il voit des fées dansant vers eux et qui leur jettent de la poudre aux yeux. D'un seul coup ils se retrouvent tous deux à Tirnan au pays béni des dieux. Leur voiture marche au bon whisky, ils peuvent acheter au duty free. Et s'ils restent dans ce lieu béni, à jamais ils seront en vie.
It's Misha on fire, let's bonbon car. It's a bonbon car, it's a Donny Spar. It's Misha on fire, let's bonbon car. Hey there, Horace, all the no yard. It's Misha on fire, let's bonbon car. It's a bonbon car, it's a Donny Spar. It's Misha on fire, let's bonbon car. A bonbon car. It's Misha on fire, let's bonbon car. It's a bonbon car, it's a Donny Spar. It's Misha on fire, let's bonbon car.
That's a great record. That's called Bon Bon Car. That's by a band called Duna. I'm told that that'll be available soon to buy if you want. If you're interested in that, people have contacted me that it's going to release that up here. It hadn't been released in the north before, but they're going to release it very shortly. It's maybe an album. I don't know. That's really, really good. There's 3 languages on there for the benefit of you who only speak the one. There's Breton, and there's French, and there's the common English that we know so well. What?
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but this man's in a hurry. Could you do a wee quick word with him, please?
Hello?
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
I phoned Sean the other day about a remark he made last week about the ex-president of the United States.
What remark did he make about the ex-president?
He passed a remark when it was brought up. He asked, "Were all the women warned about him coming?"
Yes, I may have said that.
Well,
yes.
well, I thought it very much out of place.
It probably was, but sure, you know, it's only a bit of crack.
But apart from that, I was phoning Sean the other day about a song that was mentioned a long way to Tipperary.
Yes.
Well, I sung him a verse, but there's another verse if you want to hear it.
Well, he was singing for reasons best known to himself. Let me just ask him, why were you singing Long Way to Tipperary last week?
Something you said and we brought. We were
yes,
discussing this.
I do remember
we were
that.
trying to find out the origin of the song, but Tommy knows how it all started. With the first verse explains it all, Tommy, doesn't it?
Well, I happen to know that Tipperary isn't the Tipperary that we know.
Let Tommy explain, and you're wrong, and Tommy's right. Let Tommy explain.
How do you know if I'm wrong or not? I haven't.
Because I know your version. Well, Tommy's version's right.
Anyway, there's another verse if you want to hear it.
Well, tell me what it's all about first. And then you can tell me the verse, or is the...
Well, it says it in the start. Are you listening?
I'm listening.
Up to mighty London strolled an Irishman one day, and as the streets were paved with gold, sure everyone was gay, singing songs of Piccadilly and of Leicester Square, till Paddy got excited, and then he shouted there, "It's a long way to Tipperary, it's a long way to go, it's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest girl I know.
God love her.
Goodbye, Piccadilly. Farewell, Leicester Square. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's right there."
Okay, right. So we've established that. Perhaps people don't realise that Tipperary was indeed a prostitute.
I know nothing about that. But hold on, there's another verse yet.
Well, just a second. Let's not get carried away here. So Tipperary was indeed a lady of the night in London, And that's what they're singing about. God bless her. Tipperary, it's a long way to Tipperary.
I wouldn't agree with you there.
But that's what the song's about. People think it's about Tipperary in the south of Ireland. But Tipperary was a lady of the night. Frank, I mean, if you think about that and sing the first verse, and it all makes sense. Now, give me, what's this verse you're going to sing me now?
There's the next verse, Ad.
Yes.
Paddy wrote a letter to his Irish Molly, oh, saying if you don't receive it, just write and let me know. If I make mistakes in spelling, Paddy dear, should he remember it's the pen that's bad, don't lay the blame on me. It's a long way to Tipperary, it's a long way to go. It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest girl I know. Galway, Piccadilly, farewell Leicester Square. It's a long, long way to Tipperary, but my heart's right there.
Okay, we know that bit. Now, that verse that you've just sung, I've never heard that one before.
Well, there you are. I'll say without
fear of contradiction.
That I know more songs than any person around this area.
Okay then, well let's get back to that in a minute. But first of all, I have to say to you, goodbye Piccadilly, farewell Leicester Square. You see, those are during the time of the Second World War, and indeed today, those were the beats of the ladies of the night. And the sweetest girl I know, goodbye Tipperary. Tipperary was a lady of the night in Piccadilly, Leicester Square. It
was a house of ill repute.
A house of ill repute?
Yes. It was owned by an Irish woman. And I think the name of the house was actually called, like, Tipperary above the door. And that's where it was. You know, like your place where you were talking about the other day.
I don't think we should get into that.
We won't get into that, but that's what it was.
I was very young then, I didn't know what I was doing.
It was a naughty house.
Well, it could be the house, or it could be the person who owned it. I was told it was a lady's name, her name is Tipperary. And as a matter of fact, it's not unusual, because you remember, Mr. Coyle...
But you know who told us the story.
What?
You know who told us the story.
I can't remember that.
Do you not?
No.
Of course you do.
You see, it's not an unusual thing. You yourself, and I have to jog your memory here, yes. There was a gentleman who was a character around the streets of the city. What was his name?
Tipperary.
Exactly.
Yeah, but William Loughlin, the well-known singer,
that's right,
from this town, told us that, and he got the story from a bishop.
And by God's sake, you know, the bishop...
From a bishop.
The bishop told him. Bishop. I know, and what was the bishop doing down there? I want to know.
Right.
Okay. So, tell me about some of the other songs you know.
I hear you often there, people asking for requests.
Yes.
And I phoned several times, but I couldn't get through.
Well, I don't see any reason why you should get through. Where you shouldn't get through again.
Well, one thing about it, when I sing a song, I sing every verse and every word of it.
I noticed that.
I hear Paul Brady there singing The Mountains Are Mourning.
Yes.
And in my opinion, he murders it.
Well, see, a lot of people are divided on that. I personally think it's the best version, but then again, you know, people don't like people messing around with the standards.
No.
Yeah, I don't mind it myself. So what's your favourite song? Hello?
My favourite song,
yes,
lately, was the one that Frank Coulter wrote, The Town I Love So Well.
Yeah, well...
put me in mind of my own town here.
Oh, you from here?
I'm from Strabane.
You're from Strabane?
Yes.
You'll know Hugo then.
Oh, I know him, surely. I mind him when he was no size. And
he's still no size.
I'll tell you one thing. He was a cheeky wee brat. I told him one day down at the hospital.
I think we should stop here, I think. Let's get back to the songs then. What, apart from The Town I Love So Well, what other songs do you like?
I love all the old Irish songs.
Yeah, right.
Bless This House and all them.
Uh-huh. Well, you wouldn't mind every once in a while if we need a man to sing an old song, you wouldn't mind if we rang you every once in a while?
No.
Well, give us a little... I don't want to hear a whole song. Give me a little verse of something else before you go. Just a verse. Something that just occurs to you, because you've got a peculiar style. I like the way you sing.
Well, hear a song and I'd bet any money you never heard of it.
Yes.
You listening?
I'm listening.
in the month of September, the year 72. The Lord called to heaven a son good and true. There was sorrow and grief round the town of Dromore when we heard that our champion we'd ne'er see no more. And as God bless you, Mickey, we cherish your name. To your own native town you brought honour and fame. Good lilters may come, and I'm sure they'll be grand, but they'll ne'er see another like Mickey McCann.
I never heard that before.
No, I would think that.
What's that called? Mickey McCann, is it?
Mickey McCann.
That's a good song. I think somebody mentioned that to me before at one stage. I think somebody asked me, did I ever hear that? That's Mickey McCann. We might need you to sing another verse of that some other time.
All right, I have to go now because I have a sister in the Waterside Hospital and I go down every day to see her.
Good man. Good. Nice to see that you're looking after your people. Okay.
Okay.
All right then.
Right now, Gio.
See you later. Bye.
All right.
Bye. He's great.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's a man of 1,000 songs. He's your singing correspondent.
He's great. Have you got his number?
Oh, yes.
I'll get him again. What's his name?
Tommy. Tommy the singer.
Brilliant.
Wasn't he? Will you talk to a man on 2?
What?
There's a man on 2.
All right then. Give me a chance here, will you?
Well, I'm trying to.
I'm trying to do 3 things at the one time. Is that him?
A man on 2.
That's 2.
What's it? Are you sure it's 2?
Yes, there's 1 and there's 2. That's 2. It's hard to make a mistake. 1 is 1.
Well, who is the man on 2? Is that you? Definitely 2.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I don't mind. I've got all day. It's okay.
Well, you fiddle around there.
No, what I was going to do before you stopped me. I was going to play a record. I know it's an unusual thing to do. Let's hear if he's still there. Hello? Oh, he's gone now.
No, Gerry's taking him back.
I'll tell you what I'll do, actually, in the meantime. I'm going to read a poem, okay?
Well, turn us off.
I'll turn you off. Right, I read this poem the other day, and it's amazing how many people wrote in for copies of it, and I know we're not going to get round to all of them, but we'll try and get round as many as we can. It's a poem called Do You Remember? So I suggest, if you've sent in a stamped address envelope, we'll try and get back to you, but I mean, there's so many of them. If you really want a copy of this, I'm going to read it now in a minute. And, you know, if a person was quick, and if a person had a little cassette, if a person had a little kind of little thing for recording stuff, you could nearly record this now. Of course, I'm not allowed to tell you to do that because it's against every rule that we have in the BBC. But I didn't say that. You may just have heard me mentioning and muttering it under my breath. It's a poem called Do You Remember? It's written by, I must apologise. I apologised for this yesterday. I forgot that I had read this before. I knew it sounded familiar, but I wasn't quite sure. But it was written by Anne-Marie Campbell, very talented girl, and it's from a book called Ice Cream and Onions by Anne-Marie Campbell. I think you probably get that down in Waterstones or somewhere like that. And this is called Do You Remember? And here goes. A bucket on the stove, boiling all the whites, the big tin bath on Saturday nights. An old glass washboard, an outside loo, distemper on the walls, cardboard in your shoe. Lino on the floor, a scullery out the back, a penny in the meter, cold brick, coke and slack. Keys in the locks, doors on the latch, long hot summers, ponies and traps. Black leaded range, mansion red tiles, ragmen, bone men, men who sharpened knives. Ard glass herrings, buttermilk and snuff, sorehead, stomach cakes, tripe and onion stuff. Cenopods virol, castor oil and malt, a poultice for sore throats made of hot salt. A half-moon watermark, like a front door mat. Soda farls, wheaten farls, cooling on the rack. Sheets made from flour bags winding up the clocks. Suspenders for the men to hold up their socks. Crombie coats, paddy hats, corner shops small, horse-drawn hearses with black plumes tall. Gas mantles, lamplighters, billy cans of tea. Walking home from dances, courting on the way. Fish and chips and newspaper, a pennyworth of jam, a pound of broken biscuits, a trolley bus and tram. Donkey's hoof, penade, Crocs and Beetles too, Rinzo, Vim and soap flakes, newspapers in the loo, carbolic soap, brill cream, 7 o'clock blades, sugar and water potion, making permanent waves. Ale plants growing in a big sweetie jar, food safe with wire mesh in every backyard. Hotspur and Rover, Dandy Beano too, a 3D matinee or a jam pot in lieu. A refund on the bottle, brown paper bags, 5 woolly woodbine, and sharing half a fag. Hopes and cliques and guiders, Peary's whips and all, skipping songs, marbles, pitch and toss, handball, top 20 from Luxembourg, Desert Island Discs, Henry Hall's Gas Night, Rock and Roll and Twist, Billy Cotton's Band Show, a book at bedtime too. This list is never ending. But as we asked in this programme a couple of days ago, who was Skiboo?
Restaurant, we're eating in a car. Bologna again, bologna again. We don't sleep in no white hotel bed. We're sleeping in that car. Bologna again. You don't strut around in these country towns. You better stay in the car. Look on ahead, don't stare around. Best stay where you are. We're a long way from home. Don't push your love too far. Bologna again. 22 years we've sung the word since 1931. Amen. Amen. Now the young folk want to praise the Lord with guitar, bass, and drums. Amen. Well, I'll never get tired of Jesus, but it's been a heavy load, carrying his precious love down a long dirt road. We're a long way from home, but just let's pay the man and go. Bologna again. The Lord is my shepherd, he leadeth me in pastures green. He gave us this day our daily bread and gasoline. Go under the willow, park her up beside the stream. For pillows,
a good song, isn't it? That's Mark Knopfler. That's a song called Baloney Again, from an album called Sailing to Philadelphia. Joe is on the line. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Gerry.
How are you?
I'm just reading a book here, The Water in Between. It's about a chap who sailed from Vancouver to Tahiti across the Pacific.
That's not an easy thing to do.
No.
Right.
But anyhow.
When did he do that?
About 1996, 95, 96.
Well, how did he feel after that?
But anyhow.
Right.
The thing I want to know is the ship he used was actually made of concrete.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, I'm reading in the book here, the chap called it a ferro cement hull. It's built. The last time I saw one was in Ladybrook in West Belfast here.
Yes.
It was in a garden, and I was just wondering, it was this, whoever owned this one in Ladybrook got it lifted out by a crane.
Uh-huh.
But where it went, I don't know. And I was wondering, what any of the readers know anything about a hull made of concrete, cement.
Uh-huh.
And whether there would be one about anywhere, so as I could go and have a look at it. They say I'm an ex-seaman myself.
Yes.
I was just wondering, just for interest, just bring back memories from seeing it in this chap's garden in Ladybrook, I was wondering where I could go maybe and look at one,
Oh, yeah.
if there is such a thing existing there,
Well, there's not many concrete boats about, I'll tell you that.
No, but as the reader said when he bought it from this chap, the guy that was selling it told him, he said, he laughed at it too about the concrete.
Uh-huh.
And the guy that was selling it says, well, would you get a piece of steel? If you drop a piece of steel in water, it'll sink.
Uh-huh.
But a ship is made of steel, and it can float. So that was his point about a concrete-based boat.
Oh, I have no arguments on that score.
See?
I mean, I've
well,
long
I've
since...
wondered myself about it, I'm sure some people thought it was daft, the concrete. Sometimes I got the idea myself, but I didn't see myself. I could realise some of the ideas, some people crossed oceans in all sorts of bamboo, the Contiki expedition and stuff like that,
That's right.
And the other ones were the Indian Ocean and all this, all these old, the St. Brenton and all that,
Yes, that's
but
right. The first people to discover America were from Ireland.
Yes, that's right, Jerry.
A lot of people. I think they were there after the Vikings.
That's right. Right.
Vikings got there first, then the Irish, and then the English. And then the English organised the whole thing, and then the Irish came back again. to put in the English put in the pipes, and then the Irish came back when the toilets were working. Okay, well, let's see if anyone out there can help you. I must confess, I'm probably no good to you because I'm kind of ignorant where that sort of thing goes. But maybe someone out there would know what you're talking about. I have a rough idea what you're talking about. I can't really help you. So anyone out there who can help you in any way, I encourage them to give me a ring at 08459 555 678.
That's great, Jerry.
Okay.
And I was just listening there about the 7 o'clock blades and the wire mesh out the backyard.
Yes.
Back memories.
It's weird, isn't it? It's really weird, that.
Right, Jerry, all the best.
Okay, thanks very much.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. What?
They're down at the city airport, are they?
Is he still there?
Okay, the concrete boats.
He's still there, sir.
Right.
He's still there?
No, he's away.
Is he?
I'm being told here now. Geordie's on 2.
Stop pushing me about, would
sorry.
you? I'm
We're having a three-way call. There's a man on the phone telling me they're down the city airport.
All right.
Right, go away from me and talk.
Right. They're down at the city airport. Anne-Marie Campbell, I was talking about that poem which I read earlier on called Do You Remember, from a book called Ice Cream and Onions. You can buy that. I've got an address here. Well, anyone who wants to buy that, give us a ring and we'll give you the address and the phone number, because I said it was readily available in shops. Apparently it isn't. So what else is new? Hello, good morning.
Hello, Gerry.
Yes, Geordie, hello.
Hello, Gerry.
How are you?
Not too bad. Well, now Fergie's back on the road again. I got the new tire of O'Hagan's in Lawrencetown.
Mm-hmm.
The main one went haywire, and then 2 days after the other one went the tire,
Mm-hmm.
So
I was talking to a guy the other day, a farmer who went up to see the relics of St. Teresa. When he came back home, there was 4 new tires on his tractor.
Oh.
And how are you today? You fine?
Oh, yes. So
excellent.
we got her fixed up again and she's on the road again.
Excellent, because it's no good for you if you can't be mobile.
Oh, no, and like David O'Hagan's, my left, they come up and all in the van and brought the wheel and all and put it on and all for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Listen, I don't know if I contacted you or not, but a man contacted me and wanted to find your phone number. I don't know if anyone contacted him and gave him your phone number. He wanted to employ you for a gig, a personal appearance. Did he get to you? Did you
Not that I know,
hear
Gerry,
him?
no.
Well, maybe someone else didn't get to him. Well, if that man who rang didn't get your number, ask him to ring back, because you're in demand these days. How do you feel about personal appearances?
Sure, Gerry, I was always knocking about, you know.
Have you been down to St George's Market yet on a Friday?
No, hopefully next Friday night, Gerry.
Is it open next?
Car business sort of knocked us off, you know.
I know, but I don't know if it was open or not, you know, to be honest with you.
Oh, it is open.
It is open.
Well, it never closed.
It never closed?
No, never closed.
Uh-huh.
No.
Okay.
And the first thing when I got her going, went down to David Yard, my neighbour down below, and a lot of bags of refused potatoes.
A lot of bags?
You know, they refused, just.
Yes.
And man, now Hooch loves them.
Does she?
Oh, why Hooch the pig? Oh, why isn't the man he can share a potato?
How is Hooch these days?
Doing the best, and the geese and the ducks and all loves it.
And everyone's fine.
And the wee Robert Wallace, he landed down that day from Ballyclare. He was looking like a Rudine red hens.
That's right.
Or, you know, young stock.
Yes.
So I got him fixed up with a dozen Rudine reds and a dozen of Marans and a dozen of Checkers. And a dozen of brown leghorns. So
Well,
he was happy enough.
That's the old... I never knew there was a chicken called Leghorn, because you know that cartoon...
Oh, there's the white leghorn, the brown leghorn.
Foghorn. Do you remember Foghorn Leghorn?
Uh-huh.
Did you ever see that? You ever see that cartoon of a Foghorn Leghorn?
And you know the way you were talking there with that big Robert Wallace from Ballyclare.
Yes.
You know the way you were talking with that man, he says. You know the way you were talking.
I can't remember the way I was talking. How was I talking?
You know you put a voice on.
Oh, yes, I can't remember what I was doing. It seems so long ago.
Well, he just talks that way.
Oh, yes. Yeah, yes. You're talking about Kenny, Kenny, talking like that. Is that it?
Yes,
that's
him.
Well, see, a lot of people talk like that.
And there I was standing waiting, wondering where we get a jack, you know, to get the wheel up, you know, to get the wheel off. And he landed. And he says, I'm going up to my neighbour here to see if I can get a jack. And he says, well, he says he a block or a plank.
You're a block or a flank?
Yeah. So I got a block and a plank. And man, he lifted the Gerry there about 4 foot of the ground.
Is that right?
And I got the wheel and all off.
My God.
Uh-huh.
A man of superhuman strength.
Oh, yes, he just says, give me a block and a blank.
He said, give me a ring, I'm at Krypton 495.
And up she went, like.
I'll tell you what, eh? There's a lot of men about, you know, real men. People
and
think
then
they're...
he left it high enough that I could just put the wheel on, you know, when she was blew up.
You were able to just scooch it on right away?
Oh, yes.
You didn't have to lift the bugger at all?
No, and our wee thing, Gerry, before we go, wee Tommy and Bella, the man I lost my 2 magpie.
Yes.
Duck and a drake.
Mm-hmm.
They along the way down, or even away from Cookstown.
Mm-hmm.
And brought my duck and a drake.
Oh, really?
A magpie, yes.
And they were the same kind of animals that you'd lost?
Very same. And then we took a wee run out over the Pines Pass and had a wee jar or two and that. They weren't home till 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's a good wee jar or two. Especially when you start in the afternoon, you don't get home till 4 in the morning.
You know, so
that's not bad.
Weapons all right.
It just goes to show you there's a good time to be had in the world yet.
Oh, yes, certainly.
It's not over.
Full of kind people.
The world's full of crack and kind people. It's not like the way you read in the papers.
Not at all.
I'm fed up with this election of you.
Oh,
when you see those chinless wonders on the TV talking all that rubbish.
And a phone call last night, I don't know how she got them away from Hereford in England.
Who was that?
Oh, he laid down, she had 100 young ducklings out.
Yes.
You know, wee ducks.
Oh, yes.
And they were coming to buy them, but they wanted to know about no ducks and no drakes, so she phoned me up to ask how could you tell, you know, just young ducklings, how.
Yes.
You know, well, the duckling, I could tell them, you know, how them and the horn, you know, the wee drake has a different tone. And the wee duck has a wee sharper.
In other words, if you want to tell the
difference,
difference,
you know, and she's a finer head. The wee duck has a finer head, even when she's just out of the egg. Like.
So you're talking about the difference between a male and a female duck and
yes.
drake. So what do you mean they have a different tone?
We do we
squeak.
Yes.
Well, can you do what's the difference between a?
Well, he's a wee bit deeper. The wee drake is a wee bit deeper, and the wee duck has a wee sharp, you know, with a squawk.
Okay, if I'm a duck, right?
You know.
Right. Okay, I'm a male duck. I go.
Right. That's it. You just hit her on the head there.
Right. And the female duck goes.
Wee short, wee hair pinch.
Does the male go like that?
Yes.
And the female goes.
Yes, that's it.
No, that's the way it should be.
So she had a
women don't know their quack these days. They don't know their place. They're sitting in the kitchen, they're quacking all the wrong noises.
Well, that's it. And you were saying about you were saying about, before Jerry go, I must tell you this, when I was down,
yes,
waiting on my tire, getting fixed down in Lawrence, I went down to Guildford.
Mm-hmm.
And Monty said, he was talking before, Francie Doyle.
Yeah.
And he was licking out rub of their Alex. Where you play.
Wouldn't we all?
You know?
Yes.
And he's Francie Doyle from Guildford, a nice wee man, like.
Was he ever speaking to me in this programme? Did I ever meet him?
I don't think so now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Because his
know.
name sounds somehow familiar.
Well, it could be now.
Yeah,
he's a rare character, as you know.
Yeah, sounds like a person I would know.
Uh-huh.
I think we used to talk to somebody from Guildford, a number of people, but I don't know. It's all in the distant past.
Well, I hope you do well with your cooking now, Jerry.
Well, I'm very excited about the prospect of cooking for men and women, and I know that Mr. Coyle shares my excitement at these fields that are opening up in front of us.
Oh, I don't like the Manson yet. I don't like really the Manson this day. But
What's that?
Oh, Hakenbrough asked me. He says, Jordy, tell me this. What was in the Red Cross box? Well, I says, but I haven't opened it yet.
I don't open it until Christmas.
No, I haven't opened it. I haven't opened it yet. I didn't let it on, you know.
All right, then. How's Tiny?
Tiny's the best.
How's Nipper?
And Nipper's doing you, he said, Nipper lonely. You know, he took up Earl Hooch. They're in the field with Hooch, and he never bought. So, Tiny's different now. Tiny would go for Earl Hooch.
No, you see, it's very rarely you see a dog and a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig together.
Tiny, he'd go for him.
Mm-hmm.
But Earl Nipper walks side by side down in the field, and man, Earl Hooch can eat grass as good as any cow.
I hope there's not going to be any cross-fertilisation.
Oh, no, Earl Nipper just waddled beside him in the sun. Them sunny days, he was lying on the thorn bush along with him, and they just dawdle about the yard to him.
Isn't that a metaphor for the way we are in this country today? Here we are in the small island of Northern Ireland with all these political problems. One, Protestants can't get along with Catholics. And there's Nipper, walking side by side with a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig.
Well, that's it.
And not a flag in sight.
Not a one.
And they sit there and they enjoy their own company.
They dawdle about
and they celebrate their own difference.
Oh, aye.
You can't get much difference between Nipper and a Vietnamese black pot-bellied pig, I'm telling you that.
And do you know what, Jerry, there's at the plane on? I usually have 6 pair, you know.
Yes.
There's a swallows. There's only one wee pair here the year now, and I usually had 3-4 pairs.
The numbers are down,
So I
aren't they?
doubt the swallows is on the decrease.
Really, I hope not. So
I usually had 4 pair here, now there's only one.
Okay, well.
But the best wee Karen board at all is that, you know what, is under the bar roof, there's a wee hole, you know, where the old bulwark comes out and you put a stay in the wall, you know, to keep the roof from blowing off.
I think I missed that. Could you give me that again? What did you say there, just?
The wee cow bar roof, you know.
Yes.
Well,
yes,
they would
right.
put a stay, what you call a stay, you know, a bulwark on a into the wall, you know, to keep the roof from blowing off, what you call a stay.
I've got you now, right, go ahead.
Well, there's a wee nuke under the roof,
and
there's the house bars is building, and I never seen by the wee cock's bar on the hand. He, even when they're building the nest, that's something a wire with a fire, the wee hand came out, he went in with a fire, just when that was built, and now the same as the feeding. He sits in a wee bit of wire, waits to her come out, where she feeds young, and then he's in. You know, he really does put his heart into it.
I know, if more people in housing executive houses were the same, this would be a better country. People don't seem to know what they're supposed to do these days.
You see, the robin, it's different now. You see, when the robin does his job and the wee hen builds her nest, she has it all to do.
Well, I don't agree with that in general.
Well, no, the robin is, the old cock robin just sails off and that's it. But the wee house bar now, the wee cock house bar, he stays the whole.
It's like a wee boy would be down in B&Q an odd time.
Well, it could be.
If there was an aviary equivalent of that.
Well, no, I never seen the school part where I can just, you know, I'm just looking through the window and
That's like a wee bird who would push the trolley in the supermarket.
Oh, it is, yes.
And not sit out in the car and smoke.
No, and look after the wife.
Exactly, that's the way it should be.
Well,
how is Anne these days, the little foxy?
Doing the best, yes, we all doing the best.
Okay, that's excellent. Okay, right, sorry, I was calling you Tommy there. Okay.
All the best.
Right, Jordy, bye.
Bye now.
Bye. You know, it's good to know.
Right.
It's good to know that in this hurly-burly world, full of technological change and people whizzing about, that a man still has time to observe a robin. Just think about that today. Just leave that with you. Right, excuse me. Oh, Davy Manderson, our resident poet, sends me a stamped address envelope. Davy, you know you're not supposed to do that because it makes me angry. But he also sends me a poem which is called This Election Erection, which I'll read. Have you noticed lately that practically overnight our streets and roads have become a terrible sight, with posters and placards on lamp standard and pole portraying people who are trying to stay off the dole? Oh, our politicians. Some have gone to the extent of even displaying their mugs on some wooden hoarding, In fact, they're pictured in various places, some smiling, some staring, these so-called honest faces, all attempting to be elected and hoping they will be voted to serve on some local council. Also, there are those who hope that they will be sent to serve at what they call Westminster in the government. Then again, others are praying that in some way they can serve the people, as in the MLA, waiting re-election to storm out because they're in fear of losing the £38,000 plus perks per year. And a third of these people have never worked in their lives, some while others want elected to get away from their wives, as the only place they can talk is in the assembly, the bookies, the pub, football matches at Windsor or Wembley. So consider whether they're anti or whether they're pro, and then make your decision on which way to go. Are they worth the salary which they normally do not earn before you start whinging or even dare to gurn? Don't elect the ones you think that you know, as they're only in it just for the dough. Select candidates who'll work for the community good, who'll do a good job, as a representative should, not those who will serve just for self-gain, who take us for idiots and normally think of us as a pain. But come election time, they'll consider just maybe shaking your hand and kissing your baby. And when it's all over and things settle down, let's hope we don't see these placards and posters around, as in elections past they've left us this litter, which is most of us feeling extremely bitter. Because some, when elected to government or council to serve, leave their rubbish behind them. What a cheek, what a nerve. These placards and posters stay up for weeks, and we have to stare at their bloody old beaks.
Help us.
Pardon?
Could you help us? Sorry, I'm sorry for interrupting you there.
You interrupted me right in
just,
the middle of the call.
right at the end.
Like
Come on, I know, but I saw you looking towards the CD, and I said he's going to this. What's this book story?
What book story?
The book story that you told the people to ring us, and we don't know what's going on.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you.
I know.
Why did you send one of your assistants in? There's an address here and a phone number to ring if you want a copy of that book.
Well, when did you give it out? Because we don't have it.
I don't want to give it out because it's a private number.
But we don't know it, and people are ringing.
Why don't you send someone in here, and I will give it to them, and they will bring it in.
If you had brought it in to us and said, I'm going to read this.
I can't leave this post, for God's sake. You know the BBC doesn't allow what do you call a diseased DJ? You can't leave a diseased DJ. A man cannot leave his seat. That's like the Coldstream Guard leaving the sentry box in front of Buckingham Palace and leaving the Queen unprotected.
Listen, did you ever hear of Little Italy in Belfast?
Yes, I did.
Well, there's a man wants to talk to you about it on one, Paddy.
Well, why did you send somebody in for this?
Well, I can't. We're trying to answer these calls.
Is Geraldine crippled? No. Is she? She suddenly lost the power of her legs.
And what about you?
I can't leave here. For God's sake, I'm in the control. What am I? I'm not the controller.
Why did you read out the address?
I don't want to read out the address. Because it's the person's own private address.
Well, why did the person write to you, giving you their address?
They said if anyone wants the book, to give them this number or the address.
Well, give them the number.
She didn't say to read it out on the whole radio, because you know what they're like out there. There's people out there in the dole with nothing else to do.
Well, what are we? A library? A lending service?
I don't like your tone. Will you ask Geraldine to come in and get this? I'll tell you what it is. It's Mrs. A.M. Campbell.
That's much better.
36 Tyree Street.
Right.
Tiree Street.
Yes.
Antrim. The number to ring, if they want this book,
yes,
is Antrim 028
yeah
94 46 22 44.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Now there's Paddy.
Hello, Paddy.
Hello?
Yes, Paddy. Hello, Paddy. You're on the air.
Hello.
Yes.
Is that you, Gerry?
I'm afraid so.
Hello, Gerry.
Yes.
I'll tell you what it is. It was my partner was listening to your show there during the week. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And you had a gentleman on talking to you. And he said that his family, he was Italian. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday show.
Was that not a lady yesterday?
It might have been a lady.
It was a lady, yeah. Nobody understood a word she said except me.
No. I know the one you were talking about. That was the one she was talking about. She was from the country there.
That's right.
No, but this is Tuesday or Wednesday. It was one, I think he was saying he was from Belfast.
Yes. What was I don't seem to remember that. What was he talking about?
Well, anyway, he was just talking about his family was from Little Italy. But I never really caught, everything that was been said. But it was just basically try and find out some information about him.
I don't think that was me. You sure it wasn't somebody else?
No. It was your show, Gerry. It was a partner was sitting listening to it.
Really? But why don't I remember that?
I don't know. Maybe you suffer from temporary amnesia.
That's a possibility. I just can't remember. I was talking about Little Italy.
Yeah. No, well, this person was.
Yeah.
Her family was from there. But I was only wondering, who it was there. She was talking about the Little Italy that myself and the committee represent.
Yes.
Well, we're Little Italy half bap here in Belfast.
Little Italy half bap?
Little Italy half bap.
Half bap.
Half bap.
That sounds good. There's a ring to that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right, then.
Little Italy is where the Dunbar link is now.
That's right.
And the half bap there was where, do you know the cathedral quarters are?
Yes.
So that used to be Edward Street and places like that, so it was.
That's right. Well, that's kind of. Don't get me wrong. Now, I'm not quite sure about the geographical locations of these areas in Belfast, but that seems to me that's more or less kind of wiped away now, isn't it?
It is. Developers moved in and things like that.
The guys with the suits that don't fit them, yeah.
And as I say, it was just more or less if a gentleman that was on Tuesday or Wednesday talking to you.
Okay.
Sean has my number there.
No, he never has. No, okay. For some reason that doesn't ring a bell with me. But if the man who was talking to me and mentioned, he may have just mentioned it literally in passing, which I don't recollect. But if he is listening and he was the man who was talking to me, I urge him to give me a ring and then I'll put him in contact with you.
Yep.
Let me just check. Do you remember me talking to anyone about Little Italy?
No.
You'd never listened to the program anyway.
We can't hear things.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Hello, Gerry.
Yes, sorry.
It was just more or less as if he was talking about the Little Italy that I'm talking about. It was just that we are having a festival. This is our second festival on the 4th and the 5th of August this year.
Yes.
And it was more or less just if it was from there, it was if he had any photographs and stuff like that, from that area.
You're having a festival to kind of recreate some of those times, yeah?
It's called Back to Our Roots. It's like a reunion where we bring all the people, well, not all the people, but, people that came from that area.
Okay, then.
And we'll have a fun day, and we have a reunion.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have a photographic exhibition, things like that,
All right, then, okay. Well, all right, if anyone out there can help you at all or has any memorabilia or anything that may be of use to you, that they think might be of use to you, we've got your number here and they can ring us and let you know. And if the gentleman who's reputedly talking about Little Italy, if he'll come on and identify himself, we'll get his number and we'll put him in contact with you as well.
That's no problem. There's nothing here that, as I say, what we do is we do programs at these festivals that we have.
Yes.
And it's just, there was a bit of a poem that was given to me, if you want me to tell you.
Yes.
Well, it's called The Street.
Okay.
And it's memories of a Belfast street.
Go ahead.
Memories so bittersweet. Memories producing tears to mark the passing of the years. Life today, it's clear to see, it's not the way it used to be. Lacking warmth, devoid of grace, lived at too fast a pace. More and more I reminisce of all I knew and loved and missed, and often sit and sadly brood on better days now gone for good. Children playing piggy stick, trimming down the tillywick. A willow-patterned dinner plate, rubbing SIBO on the grate. Art glass herrings on a cart, a slice of mince, an onion tart. A bicycle with lustrous stalks of ice cream in a wooden box. A half-moon scrubbed around a door. Manson polish on the floor. Riding on a clanging tram, the taste of homemade damson jam. A scullery with smells delicious, jawbox filled with dirty dishes. Winter green upon a bruise, heel ball on my Sunday shoes. Meccano sets and dinky trucks, windows filled with drinking ducks. Suit inside the chimney flue, walls with greeting from Skaboo. A griddle baking soda bread, a gaslight glowing overhead. Butter running in hot champ, youngsters swinging round a lamp. Torn newspapers in the loo, melting bones for making glue. A pig's foot with a glass of stout, a horse that pulled a roundabout. Going to a beetle drive, Woodbine in a pack of 5. A man dispensing Belfast rags and giving kiddies paper flags. Trundling with cleek and hop, a grocer with a sugar scoop, noisy clanging metal frogs, marmalade with gollywogs, soup from Sunday's remnant bones, co-op quarters, cobblestones, keely suckers catching spricks, playing tig, licorice sticks, women gossiping in shawls, oilcloths shining in their halls, gypsies selling wooden pegs, tasty little bandy eggs, Sunday round the parlour fire, the street Salvation Army choir, a tickman calling Friday night, Cena pods to keep you right, McCooey on the radio, a church hall's magic lantern show, jumping with a skipping rope, fine-tooth combs and dirtbag soap, cold brick steaming freshly made, Russ's sparkling lemonade, wooden peg with bloody nibs, spinning piers on the cribs, memories of a Belfast street, recollections hard to beat, and crying when I dwell upon a Belfast that long has since gone.
There we are. Eh? That's good then. Who wrote that? Do you know?
No, it's just this is the kind of things that we collect for when we were doing the programme.
Yeah, but I wonder who wrote. You don't know who wrote that?
No, these are things that's given to us from the people that.
But who actually put that together? That's that thing that you just read.
I don't really know. It's things that's passed on to us. This is the kind of things that we collect.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, that's more than a list. That's a poem.
Well, it's sort of a poem,
Yeah, right. It is. All right then. Okay. Anyone who can give you give you any hand at all, we'll ask them to give you a ring.
No problem.
Okay.
Charlie.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, then.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. You were asking?
Eh?
You were asking what a senipod is?
What's a senipod?
It's obviously that you've never had any trouble with your lower end.
A senipod. Would you talk to Harry? He needs your help.
Where is he?
He's on 2.
Someday you'll have trouble with your waterworks. I'm telling you, boy.
That's nothing to do.
What? All depends what way you look at it. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good morning. Do you have any trouble with your waterworks? Hello?
Hello there.
I know I shouldn't have asked that. Yes, you're on the air, sir. What can we do for you?
I'm an OAP, an old age pensioner.
Yes.
And I like gardening.
Good.
And I'm looking for a turncap lily.
A what?
A turncap lily.
What's the second part of that? Turncap?
Lily.
How do you spell that?
Like something similar to an orange lily or something like that.
Oh, sorry, lily. A turncap lily.
Yes.
What would that be?
Well, it doesn't grow from a bulb. It grows from a rhinozone.
A rhinozone?
Aye.
Right.
It's a root.
Right. Okay, we're getting into strange territory here. Rhinozone.
Aye. And it has another name, the stinking lily.
The stinking lily?
Yes.
That sounds nice. The stinking lily. Well, we should be able to get one of those.
Well, I've been looking for it for years through garden centres here and there, and I can't find it.
Do you go in and ask for a stinking lily?
Yes.
No wonder you don't get one. You should maybe use the other term.
Some of them know what I'm talking about, and there's others of them doesn't.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't know what a stinking lily is, I'm sure there's somebody listening to this programme who does. All right?
Right.
I will ask them to ring and let me know what it is. It's a turncap lily.
Yes.
And a rhinozone.
Yes.
But otherwise known as a stinking lily.
Yes.
All right, we've got you. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Bye.
Bye. What?
You know the concrete boat that you're talking about? The concrete boat.
What concrete boat?
The concrete, that's Ursula. It was built in her backyard.
For God's sake, what do you think I am, memory man?
You talked about a concrete boat.
That was nearly 20 minutes ago.
Well, that's Ursula.
Right.
What about, what's Ursula?
The boat was built in her backyard.
Okay.
Whose backyard?
Ursula, who's on 1.
Why didn't you say that in the first place? Hello, Ursula.
Hello, Gerry. How are you?
I'm all right. What about your backyard?
Well, it's returned to normal.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember the boat?
I don't. I remember talking to the guy about the boat today.
Well, if a neighbour called me and said there's a mention of the Ladybrook concrete boat
That's
on
right.
on the Gerry Anderson show.
There was a man talking about it.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm sure he'd love to talk to you. And that boat was built in your backyard.
The boat was built in my backyard, yes.
Oh my God! Well, tell me who built it?
My husband. And she is now in the Mediterranean.
Is he? Well, why aren't you there?
Well,
long story, isn't it?
The boat took the marriage with it.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I see. Yes. Well, it's like the man who built the Spitfire in his attic and had to tear down the house to get it out.
It was the same story here. Exactly.
Sometimes a man's hobby takes over.
Exactly,
isn't that right?
Exactly.
Well, sure. There's better days ahead.
Yeah. Well, she has been through some really bad weather. She spent the first 11 years of her life in the Abercorn Basin, then 4 or 5 years in Carrick, and then when he retired, he set off for Spain, and again encountered some dreadful weather, but survived it, and he's now in Gibraltar.
Or as they say here, Gibraltar.
In Gibraltar.
Uh-huh.
But she has never given any trouble. Most people scoffed at it and said, a concrete boat, sure, that will sink.
Well, people laugh at things, and people don't really understand that anything is possible in this world that we live in. And there's no reason at all why a concrete boat should float and not sink to the bottom like a concrete boat.
Well, what brought you onto the subject of it on your programme?
Just a gentleman rang up and he remembered seeing it and he wanted to know all kinds of things about it. I'd say you might want to talk to him, because he would be very curious as to what you know about it.
Well, give him my number.
I certainly will. Mr. Coyle, indeed, as I speak, I think possibly he's in the process of getting the number out. I'll just check and see if he's listening.
Yes.
He probably isn't. Are you listening?
Yeah.
No. You see?
Okay.
You see?
All right, I'll pass that on.
Just as well I did that. I'll just wait until the moment he's finished. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
There's a lady here, Ursula.
Yes.
Will you give her the number of the man who was talking about the concrete boat?
Who was that?
The man I was talking to earlier on today about the concrete boat.
What was his name?
I don't know.
You talked to him.
Gerry?
Yes?
Would you by any chance need a good research assistant?
I would kill for one.
Well, I'm looking for a job.
Are you?
Yes.
Well, I need to look at your credentials.
Who's the man?
They're not too bad. Not too bad.
What? I need to know something about you. You're what? I don't want to ask you what age you are.
I'm 68.
68? Well, you're a little old,
I know I'm a little old, but I only left work at Christmas.
Right then. Okay.
I have a degree in Russian and English.
You have not, have you
I've
really?
been around a little bit.
Where did you get the degree in Russian and English?
At Queen's.
Very good. Did you ever use it at all?
Not since 1980.
Really? Did you ever do any translation or anything like that, or ever?
No. I moved on into the legal profession, and I've spent the last 20 years there.
Well, good girl.
I had to give it up because of the travelling involved, but I'm bored stupid at home.
I'm bored stupid here.
Well, then fine.
Why can't I go and live in your house?
I'm building another boat.
You can tell me all about concrete boats. His name was Joe.
His name is Joe, and we've got the telephone number.
Will you
here.
give it to her, this lady?
When it's all
Ursula.
over, yes.
Okay, Ursula, that's it, sorted out. We'll give you Joe's number. And I think you might fit in here because you sound as if you've got a bit of a brain about you.
I am bloody serious about this.
Okay, then. All right, then. I can't really talk about it now because we're coming up to 12 o'clock.
Okay, Gerry.
Okay, then.
Don't forget that.
Okay, you hang on there and Mr. Coyle will give you the number.
Right, thanks very much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Some emails here, quite a lot that I haven't dealt with because I have to run around the side and the papers run out of the machine. We'll be back on Monday. Have a nice weekend. If you want to write to me, write to Gerry Anderson, care of BBC Radio 4, Derry Stoke London, Derry. If you want to send me an email during the course of the weekend, gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. Enjoy yourselves over the weekend. The sun will not shine. It's 12 o'clock.